Todd is super serious about his practice, so he is, he doesn't eat. So you got to let him. That's why he's Todd.
Gotta let Todd eat.
Yeah, Todd eat.
Gotta let Todd eat. Well, welcome back to 2024, the inaugural first one of the season Open Pros Pick'em with my favorite guys in the whole world, Ishama Monroe, Live Scope Picks only, Todd Castledine, and Matt.
Live Scope. Did you say Live Scope Picks only?
Gotta love it. We're here at Toledo Bend. We got a lot of weather changes. We got a lot of things going on. I think it's going to be a big week on Toledo. It's warming up. Everybody's complaining all week long. If you follow anything on Instagram, on Facebook, all they've done is complain. And anytime that is the case, they absolutely smash on them.
Of course. They're liars.
They're liars. Bass fishermen are liars.
What do you mean warm it up? It was 28 degrees this morning.
It was, but it got warm this afternoon because I had to replace a trolling motor. It felt pretty darn good.
Dang, you got a ghost that fast?
No. I had to replace it with another one. Oh. It is what it is. We got the trolling motor.
I thought you got one. I thought you got one that fast.
No,
I'm like, you're way high on the list.
No, I'm not that high. I can assure you that. But
and Panger, good job last week, Panger.
I mean, not as good as you, but not bad for me-ish.
Not bad for you. That's what I said. I'm giving you credit. But I did hear you caught a big one power fishing in the last second of the day.
I caught pretty much all of them power fishing this week.
What?
I caught them on a DT6, a trap, a jerk bait.
And Andrew's up here shaking his head because
I weighed in two on a Demiki rig the whole week.
Attaboy. That's why you did good.
Hey, is. Russell looked at me and goes, "That's power fishing."
Wow, that's so wrong.
That's for so me. Good, though.
For me,
hey, it is. That's power fishing for him. You got to give Panger credit. How many
events are there this year?
Panger called me the first day of practice. Second day of practice. Dude, I got it figured out. He said, you need to go throw that Demiki rig with 5-pound test, and you get way more bites on it with 5-pound test. And I'm like,
it is true.
I was like, dang.
So he sucked you into the freaking live scope deal and then bailed on you.
No,
wow.
I told him. I told you about the jerk bait deal.
Wow, he bailed on you. Left you hanging. All right. Let's roll, boys. I got to make dinner.
All right, let's go Group A since Ish is so into it. Let's hear what Ish's Group A pick is for the very first Bass Open Pros Pick'em.
That was the hardest group to pick from. I mean, we had multiple hammers, among hammers, on top of hammers, and super hammers. But I'm going with the future legend himself, Greg Hackney.
I like it.
You have to.
No, this was the easiest one. There's only 2 picks to choose from, and I went with Patrick Walters.
You feel that jerkbait?
It was between him and no. I could care less about jerkbait. It's irrelevant. Baits don't matter.
Then what is it? What do you feel?
No.
What do you feel?
I'm picking the best live scope guy on every single pick.
Okay.
So, it was between him and Joey Fuentes. Other than that, I'm going to pick Patrick Walters.
You roll.
What about you, Matt?
I too went with Patrick Walters. One of the reasons also because of his prowess with the live scope. Actually, 3 reasons. 2, it is going to be upper 70s, so the shorts will be out during the event, which if you followed the show for the past 3 years, there's 2 guys I always pick. I pick Patrick Walters based on the weather, but also in his 5 years on the Elite Series, he averages a 16th place finish in the first tournament of the year. There's a lot of guys that are used to getting in their boats. They've got new equipment. They've got a bunch of stuff going on, but a 16th place average in the 5 years that he's been on the Elite Series, he comes ready to perform.
How do you find this stuff out, Matt?
I calculate it.
This is great. because Russell's sitting there shaking his head, looking at me like, "What is this about?" I'm like, "That's what Matt does."
Well, I went Joey Cifuentes. Oh, we lost Ish.
That blew Ish's mind.
It just blew his mind. He was like, "Hey, I can't handle any more stats. I'm out of here." I did go Joey Cifuentes. I think, like Todd said and Matt said, I mean, both of them are absolute hammers when it comes to using forward-facing sonar. Obviously, Cifuentes showed out this year with his forward-facing sonar. So, and one thing that not everybody knows, some people do, but Joey Cifuentes' biggest mentor is Larry Nixon. In fact, though, was a huge guide on Toledo Bend for a number of years before everybody knew Toledo was Toledo. So if anybody would know a little bit more about Toledo than others, it would be Joey Cifuentes. So that's why I went there. Group B, Matt, lead us off.
Group B, there's a man named Jason Christie in that bucket. I got away from him last year. In the previous 5 years, I've picked him regardless. I'm going back on the Christie bandwagon. He's also sneaky good with the live scope, Todd. So you kind of get a 2-for-1 pick there. He can go out and spin and rod with the best of them, but especially with that warming trend, he's gonna be strong.
So I'm going to go ahead and go into this group. I had Jason Christie as my pick because I know the last time he was here, he honestly, he ran away from all the boats. He ran up to the Belvedere water. He fished in some areas that I know Ish likes to fish in. Threw a spinner bait. He was looking for about 7 to 8 bites a day, and he was getting those 7 or 8 bites a day. I think he's going to have a really strong event, but I think the person in this group that is going to possibly win the event is Ben Milliken. Forward-facing sonar is here to stay, and as long as it's legal, that dude right there is going to straight up smash them using it. And on this lake in particular, he just knows how to catch big ones. He spent a lot of time the last about month and a half using it every single day. I think he has a huge tournament, and he's highly, highly owned. But there's a good reason. Todd, who you got?
It's between him and Cody Huff.
Oh yeah, Huff. I forgot about him. Huff has a history here.
Yeah, he's won. The problem, see, I like anybody that thinks they're going to go up there on the bank and go catch him is just laughable. So no one's going to win a tournament like that ever again. So hold
on. Last week, I was there. Top 5 guys didn't live scope.
That's not
on
true.
A lake. Yes, it is.
That's not true.
The winner definitely.
You said top 5 guys.
Okay,
yeah,
maybe
one
out of the top 5. One of the top 5. Once again,
didn't live scope.
Not live scope. So, Todd, I'm losing you. Todd, I'm losing you. Todd, I'm losing you. Hello? Todd, can't hear you. Todd, I'm losing you. You were my guy.
No one cares. No one will win a tournament like that ever again.
Once again. Okay.
Oh, that's a timely question that you threw up there, Andrew. I like to see what you did there.
I love that. I'm not saying that it won't dominate, but I'm going to have to say that it's starting to take its deal, and we saw it.
So, Todd, you going Huff or Milliken?
I'll just go Milliken. Just I don't really even care anymore. It's going to be whoever. Like I don't care anyways.
I may switch to Milliken just hypothetically.
I have to switch to Milliken just because he probably knows some. He probably knew one of the best fishermen on that lake last year.
That's valid. That's very valid.
Before he made the Elite Series, we're talking last year during the Opens when you could get.
Yeah,
when you
I said last year, and it didn't matter. He could have got information for this tournament all the way up until September or October.
Yeah,
he's also.
But you don't think that those fish have changed and moved? I mean, not that they're live scope. You say the fish are all in the same areas.
Most
he knows what to do.
They are.
But I'm gonna tell you. But here's the one thing that I know about the elites over the opens is the same information that Ben got. There's one or two of those elite guys that got that same info. You don't think so?
No, not from that guy. No.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
Not
Wow,
from
that's pretty good.
So I'll just go Ben because that's all he's gonna do. Like I said, he doesn't.
He ain't gonna go mess around with nothing else.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah,
gonna go
you changed my mind. I'm going Milliken too. By the way,
he's not gonna go mess around in the stupid bank like an idiot.
Hey, you're gonna regret going away from Jason Christie, Panger.
Well, don't worry. I've got his back. I've got Christie's back because I'm going to. And Panger, I know that he's been working on his forward-facing sonar game, but Jason Christie's not going to show up to Toledo Bend, where he can do his number one favorite thing in the world, throwing a spinnerbait.
What am I talking about? I'm sticking with Jason Christie. Screw that. Yeah, I'm sticking with Jason Christie.
Thank you.
He just needs 20 bites.
Exactly. And that dude is literally going to live with that spinnerbait.
Yeah.
You can't get 20 bites on you can't get 20 bites on the bank anymore. Golly, man. What are y'all talking about?
Okay, Todd, how about
this?
Hey, Todd,
you go out there right now, you're going to get 197 bites a day out live scoping, at least.
Along with everybody else that's out there. And once again, big fish very rarely like that little stinking minnow. Them 10-pounders, and when she's proven to catch.
Is Milliken doesn't throw the little minnow all the time. That
right.
Dude
no, you're right. You're right.
My head.
Well, you got to start telling those 10-pounders at Toledo to stop eating that little thing.
No, they eat a spinnerbait for damn sure, and they eat a big old freaking swim bait, which Milligan will throw because he ain't got in his mind he has nothing to lose. But I'm sticking with Jason Christie, and I'm gonna take my bank beaters because here's the deal: all you live scopers have left the bank, which means that I've got more water to fish, and that 1 or 2 extra bites I need at every tournament because there was a whole lot of guys that I know that live scoped in the last event who didn't even get a check, and there was a whole lot of guys that I know that fished the bank that did get a check. And I'm just saying, it's coming back, boys. It's coming.
We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and drop into Group C because that was the longest Group B ever in the history of this entire show. That was the longest one ever.
Do we have a time limit?
No.
Well, I do got to cook dinner. I mean, it's.
What are you cooking? You've mentioned that like 3 times now. Is it like something fancy?
Yes, it is. It's a garlic piccata.
A what?
Is that like a potato?
Garlic piccata? No, it's a Brazilian cut of steak that you put on a skewer, and it's garlicky flavored with mac and cheese and salad.
You're gonna have mac and cheese.
Wait, there's a mac. You put the. Why is it on a skewer?
Because the way you cut the meat so that it cooks properly, you put it on a skewer.
So it's like Texas Day Brazil.
Yes, very much so.
Group C, Todd, lead us off.
Scott Martin.
I like it. Coming off a win, hot streak.
I was gonna go him or the other 2 live scopers. I went with Scott.
What about you, Pangrac?
I'm going JT Tompkins.
Ooh,
the other live scoper.
That guy's on his stuff. Like he is on his stuff. Like he has 0 distractions, nothing. Like it is fishing 365, 24/7. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He is going to catch them.
You're right about that.
What about you, Ish? What bank beater are you going with this week?
I'm not going with the bank beater. I'm going with a friend, the homie. And I'm not going with Johnny Cruz. He's the homie. I'm going with Ike.
Oh, God, you're just dismissing Cruz. He's not your friend anymore?
Ike, no, he's my friend. He's my homie. He's the man. But Ike is, once again, he's that sneaky pre-spawn crankbait catching, and he is using live scope or active target a little bit. So I'm going to give him a little credit there. But I like his attitude. I've had conversations with him a lot over the wintertime and previous year recently, and his attitude is what has me thinking that he's on the pace to do very well.
Gotcha. Well, I went JT Tompkins as well. I mean, I think that one's pretty easy in my opinion. I think he's hungry and he's been wanting this chance for a long time. So we'll see if he shows up. But I was going to go Scott Martin. I mean, that was actually kind of a hard one for me. But Ish, I don't know what you did with yours, but now you're just like weirdly vertical.
Do you not feel like a guy who's already in the Classic is more likely to take more chances and then be more apt to tank because he really doesn't have to worry about the points after?
And Scott's not worried about the money either. He's out to win. So I think you're right, Banger. I think he's,
But I think that makes him more volatile. Like at 1 o'clock, he's not going to go try to catch 15 pounds. Like he's going to keep doing his thing.
Right. 100%.
Which makes me scared to pick him.
He's going to fish. He's going to fish just like Todd used to fish.
Because he might. I mean, he very easily he'll have more of a chance to win, but more of a chance to.
You don't fish that way anymore. I know, Todd.
I think you see Scott go try to win Angler of the Year this year. I think this is the year that he goes and quits worrying about the Classic and actually goes and fishes like he used to.
Ooh, that's a good point too.
If he gets off to a good start.
Yeah, he has to get to a good start. Let's go Group D. Ish, lead us off.
Keith Combs, King of Texas. Used to be.
Okay.
Deep water, pre-spawn, crankbait bite. The dude I know is probably practiced before the off limits a gang load. I mean, he's due for getting himself back in the game. I mean, he's been kind of quiet here the last few years, and he was at one point in time the baddest man in Texas from a Elite Series standpoint. Maybe not a local standpoint, but from when a tour level pro, he knows how to win.
Yeah, I agree with that. What about you, Matt?
I've gotten to know this guy over the past couple of years. He's really calm under pressure. He has over $1 million in winnings. It does not seem like anything phases him. And I'm going with Logan Parks in Group D. I think he's going to have a surprisingly strong year.
Logan Parks has $1 million in winnings?
Yeah, he won that U.S.
Okay.
Open
Gotcha.
Johnny Morris deal.
Yeah,
gotcha. That's right.
He's very even keeled. I don't think he gets rattled. Like very even keeled. Like it's his first Elite Series. He's a young dude, but he knows his way around the electronics. Knows his way around Toledo Bend. I think he'll have a strong event.
Todd, who you got?
Logan Latuso.
Oh, okay.
Is he a live scope guy?
I don't know. I think so.
I don't think he is. I thought he was a Louisiana flipper, spinnerbait, chatterbait.
I thought that was his dad, Robbie.
Yeah.
In the Bassmaster Open on Rayburn 2 years ago, didn't he catch that monster bag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was scoping.
Yeah,
okay.
I know. Pretty sure he was, and I'm pretty sure he didn't have anything
like with a drop shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picking him. Live scope picks only.
I'm going to pick that is in true left field, and it might burn me for this year. But I don't know this guy from Adam. Matt knows him pretty well. He straight up smashed him last year. He's from the furthest northeast corner of the United States.
I almost picked him.
Williams. I
have no idea.
3%. He is as good or better of a live scoper than any person I have ever seen. Had a broke trolling motor at Watts Bar and still straight thumped him when nobody else caught him. I think he's going to be one of those guys that completely sells out to it, doesn't go do anything else. He's young. He's like in his early 20s, and he's going to have a big event. I just feel it.
Here's the thing about Tyler Williams. He is a power scoper, and I think you're going to start seeing generations of live scope guys, and he is a guy who live scopes with a bait caster and a jig, and he live scopes in 4 to 12 foot of water. He can also live scope out deeper, but that kind of sets up for Toledo with the way things are going too, right?
Yeah. I think he has a good event. Golly, man, I picked so many rookies in this one.
I know, so it's scary.
Let's go Group E. I I guess I'll just lead it off. I was torn in this one between Will Davis, but I went Wesley Gore, another rookie. I mean, I like how Wesley fishes. It's not necessarily a live scoper. He is a swim jigger, fishes shallow, power fisherman. The only thing that could hurt him is Toledo Bend can be kind of intimidating. So it's a really, really big body of water. So it's easy to get kind of overwhelmed by the size and kind of spread yourself out so much. So there's a legit chance that hurts him this week, but I'm hoping for the sake of how I know he fishes, he'll figure it out. So, Ish, what you got?
I'm going with the local, Brad Wheatley. I didn't know much about him. I saw that he had a high percentage. So I started doing my pangarisms, as I call it, started researching. This guy is actually cashed a check in 44 out of 65 bass events, which is pretty solid all the way around. I'm proud of you,
Ish. I'm beaming with pride.
I bet you
fantastic stat.
I knew you would like that. I told you my pangarisms are coming out. And when I saw that, and he was my obvious pick for that group. Plus, he's a local. You know, he's obviously fished Toledo Bend, probably a gang load. Todd, I don't know if you fished against that guy. Have you? Todd, you there? No, never fished against him. Okay,
I fished against him before. I mean,
what do you think?
Rayburn. I mean, honestly, I didn't even see that he was in that bucket, and I've changed my pick. Sorry-ish. But I would have easily picked him. He grew up on Lake of the Pines. He fishes grass a lot. He fishes a trap a lot. He's very, very comfortable fishing shallow. He's not going to be the live scoper, but he is going to be the guy that goes out there and traps and chatterbaits and figures it out. I mean, he's very, very comfortable with shallow water, and he has quite a few times.
You're making me feel really good about my pick now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Panger, what you got?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with the guy who did not live up to expectations last year, and he went into last year as probably, I want to see what this guy can do with the live scope on the Elite Series, and that's John Sokup. Now he's got everything stacked against him. He's coming off of an 0-for-9 season. He's in a new boat that I don't even know if it's rigged yet, and we're on day 2 of practice. But
how did he requalify with an 0-for-9?
Because this is only his second year.
Oh,
you get 2 years.
But I do know for a fact, I fished a tournament early in the season, a Bass Nation regional on Toledo Bend, and Sokup was catching 25 to 30 pounds a day, way kind of ahead of his time. He spent a lot of time on that pond, and I think he has something to prove. So I'm going with Sokup in Group E.
What about you, Todd?
I have no idea. I don't know anyone in there that so I did pick Wesley Gore at first, but I'm sticking with my live scope picks only because I don't know who is or isn't a live scoper in this one. I picked Kyle Patrick. I don't know him, but I went and did a little. I was like, New York, and he went from the North live scoping. So I went and looked at his results. Half of the time he got a check. And I went and looked at all the times he didn't get a check. And I saw a lot of Floridas on the list. And I'm like, good. That means live scope don't work down there. But
hey, Scott Martin won using it. So
that's perspective mode. That's totally different. There ain't on beds. They ain't on beds. So I'll say this. And Scott lives anyway. I'm not getting into that. So yeah, he did win like the Ozarks.
What happened to my friend Todd? What happened to my friend Todd? He's
live scope picks only, man.
When the real Todd Castledine, my frog, shallow water sight fishing friend comes back, please let me know when he's available. I'd really like to talk to that guy. I miss that guy.
I will get off my live scope picks the first time one of these tournaments isn't one on live scope. And until then,
he's talking elites. He's talking elites.
Okay. I was just saying last week, open 200.
No, that don't count.
That don't count. 200 boats don't count. Okay.
No,
so when Toledo Bend is not one on live scope and Jason Christie goes up the river and catches like 2 10s and wins the tournament, You will come back. The real Todd Castledine will come back.
Yep, I'll be there at Fork because this is going to go back to back in Texas live scope. Back to back.
Okay.
I agree with that completely. So,
well, I'm going to give Patrick Walters his on that.
What's the water clarity right now, though? That's the big question.
No, there's no big question. The upper end is dirty and the lower end is clear as.
Yeah,
it is
normal.
Hey, you can spinnerbait all up north you want to and go catch you 22 pounds and then freaking 7 bites and come to the weigh in and hey, good, you're 9 pounds out of the lead because some guy live scoped 30 pounds. Good job.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to go down, huh?
Where's my Todd? My friend Todd Castledine still on. I need a new BFF here in.
Todd does kind of look dead in the eyes now
compared
to last year.
Yeah,
like he's just giving up.
I gave up.
He has.
It's all live scope. Don't matter anymore.
We miss you, Todd.
I have not seen a picture of you in a gallery without a spinning rod recently. I will point out.
I know.
That's all I do.
It's scary.
I live scope and spinning rods and minnows all day long. That's all I do.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna active target myself a little bit all the way to the Elite Series, FYI. And with help from Andrew. Definitely help from Andrew. Because Andrew 2 tournaments in a row has helped me out and gave me some little key information that has helped me out, and I appreciate it, Andrew, because I thank you all the chances I get because you are the man.
Got you, buddy.
I will say today on Rayburn, by the way, I did power fish. I power fished up 5 keepers today on a half-ounce drop shot. That was my power fishing. Other than that,
is Russell shaking his head? Is Russell sitting there just completely shaking his head? What are you doing to Russell? What are you doing to Russell right now?
He's lost it. He's done. He's done too.
He's retired. He's retiring, or is he becoming just like you?
He's just like me. It's just
okay.
There is no. We don't even know the bank. I didn't even see the bank today.
My guys are gone.
Is it true that you're using the Apple iPhone goggles that are hooked up to your live scope? So you're out there with the goggles on live scoping now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't have all that.
The rumor was that you had the goggles with an HDMI cord connected to your live scope unit.
That'd be hilarious. Just wait. Somebody
guaranteed.
That's what I heard.
The winning weight. I like it.
Winning weight. What do we got this week, guys?
Todd,
lead us off. I can't hear Pangrac tell us the average of everything for the last 23 years.
86.4.
All righty. What about you,
89.10.
God, how are we so close?
Jason Christie, 89.10.
I don't know. I just randomly picked something.
80. Hey, you said my 22 pounds a day. That's Jason Christie catching 22 pounds a day on his old spinner bug out there, just winding it along. That's a big one.
That's day one. Then it goes down to 20, and
you
then
said
18,
22,
and then
15, and
yeah. Okay.
What about you, Pangrac? What do you got?
If you this is bad. If you take the average, but then I'm also going to average 2.5 additional pounds a day for live scope, because you really can't go back before, which we've shown in the opens. When you do all the averages the last 2 years, you've kind of had to throw it out, because a lot of what made it tougher was suspended fish that are now catchable. So when you add that in, I've got 93.7 to win.
Ooh,
that's heavy.
It is.
I went 89.4 was my 4-day winning weight. So right under Ish's and right above Todd's. So, that is one of my favorite things that we do on here. What you got?
When does this thing start?
Thursday.
He's looking at weather. He has to look at weather.
Well, all I got to look at, Thursday, Friday.
It's setting up to be really nice. Really
no, it's
nice.
not. Let me tell you something. I've been down here. I've fished 3 tournaments down here so far this year, and every one of them has been a trailer event because of wind, and it has that could hurt you. Doesn't hurt you. I think it's bad on Toledo as it does Rayburn, but it will hurt you.
No, I agree with that. So, who is the favorite to win this week? one of my favorite parts. And I actually,
Jason Christie,
oh God,
up north on a spinnerbait.
there you go. But,
He's back.
This used to be my favorite segment, but the next segment is my favorite. But we're gonna do this one first, and we're gonna see who picks who. I already know who Ish is picking. Ish is going Jason Christie on spinnerbait, obviously. I'm assuming, right? Am I right, Ish?
It's either Christie or Hackney. I mean, Hackney breaks out the old jig on you, and when he does that, it could get ugly.
I do think there'll be 2 top 10s possibly flipping bushes.
Did the water come up that much?
It's up pretty high.
Ooh, danger, Will Robinson, danger.
I'm gonna laugh my butt off when Hackney and Christie are out there live scoping.
Hey, if they are, and I still get in my picks, that's all that matters, right?
I want to know where all this warm weather's coming, like all this, because they ain't anywhere close to trying to go up there.
Hey, that's fine, because that warm weather will play into the factor of 2 weeks from now when we are at Santee Cooper, and I'll just sit there and watch them live scopers go. You go out there and do your live scope thing, catch your freaking 17 to 18, maybe 20, 22 a day.
Hell,
I
would gladly go out and live scope 17 a day at Santee Cooper.
The same way.
I'm 100% all in on that. You can beat me by 50 pounds.
Guys,
I'll take 17 a day.
17 a day, you might get lucky to get paid on that event if it goes down. I've been there when they show up and the whole lake goes off, both lakes. You're sitting at freaking 50th place with 20 pounds.
I hope that tournament shapes out like that, because then it'll be fun.
Me too. Yes, it will be.
So who's your favorite, Todd?
I'll go Ben.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with. What about you, Matt?
This is a guy that has won back-to-back Bassmaster Classics, has over $1 million in earning, has every title to his name, is returning to Bassmasters after a 5-year hiatus, and that is the one and only Jordan Lee.
Ooh!
Who we have not mentioned in this at all, who is a multifaceted angler who can fish offshore and shallow and has something to prove against all these young bucks.
Young bucks.
I think he wins his. I think he wins his first event back with Bass, gets the Elite Series W, and says, "I'm back, boys."
I didn't even realize he
Panger, I'm with you on. I'm with you on that one. I am 100% with you on that one.
I like
Good call.
that.
Me too.
I went Milliken as well. I couldn't help but go Milliken. Sorry, I'm going to overlap Todd's pick. I just think he wins it. So that used to be my favorite segment. This is actually my favorite segment that we're about to do, and it'll be the one that wraps us up. But I think it is very pertinent to what is going on. Bam.
You didn't even get my pick.
You went Jason Christie or Hackney?
Yeah, we just assumed it was Jason Christie.
Hackney or now Jordan Lee. You didn't even get. I had one of the 3 choices.
Well, pick one.
All 3. I'm going to pick all 3. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. I'm picking all 3. One of those 3 are going to win. Hackney, Christie, or Jolie.
I like it.
There we go.
So here's our new segment. I had to throw a curveball in on these guys. What is the winning bait this week on Toledo Bend? What is it? Todd, what do you think the winning bait is? And the winning bait has to be the bait that they catch vast majority of their bass on, not just one bass. What is going to be the winning bait?
Jerk bait.
I'm going jerk bait. Okay. What about you, Pangrac?
I have to pick one?
Yes.
I'm just going statistics and saying a freaking Demiki rig.
Okay.
But I want to say jerk bait. What was that?
That was my grill. That was the grill.
Oh, you're getting antsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get it all.
Hey, I gotta take. Hey, happy wife, happy life.
I'm gonna say Demiki.
You're going to Mickey. What about you, Ish? What is your winning?
I'm going the old jig. I'm gonna never let the jig die.
There's a good chance no one catches a single fish on a jig all week.
Guarantee you, there's somebody gonna catch them on a jig, and
maybe
it's either gonna be Hackney. It's gonna be Hackney, Jolie, or Jason Christie with the jig. One of the three.
Williams will catch him on a jig. That's all he throws.
Okay.
I agree. With
Tyler will throw a jig. That's all he throws. You're right.
With that Yamamoto flapping hog on the back.
And the dude made it. Hey, the dude made it to the Elite Series while we were sitting here at our house, freaking wishing we were there.
Yep. I kind of echo what both Matt and Todd said. You know, I actually had the opportunity to go out right before the event that when we left for Lake Ouachita, and Kane and I went and crushed about 23 pounds throwing a Demiki rig in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And so,
what do you mean? Kane caught 23 pounds. You just sat and watched, right?
I just
okay,
sat and
make
watched.
sure.
But I mean, I think between that and the jerkbait, it just depends. If they kind of push back in the backs of those pockets, I think you see the jerkbait come into play a little bit more. But if they're still out there in the middle of the drains, the Demiki is just going to absolutely destroy them.
They're all out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they've left. Like, it hadn't got warm enough yet. Like Todd said, I mean, there was freaking frost on my car this morning.
Dude,
28 degrees.
Freaking had a jacket. Yeah, it was freaking cold as can be outside today.
Yeah. I mean, it did get warm, and it's supposed to get in like mid to high 70s. The only thing that could change that will move them, for sure will move them a little bit, is our highs. The lows at night are going to be in like the mid 50s, or like low to mid 50s going forward from after today.
Man, listen. It's February down here.
No, I agree.
They only spawn down here, or even close to getting up there, like one out of every like 7 or 8 years, and it's usually because it's been super warm all.
I agree with that.
Dude, it's been free cold. They're way on out there. They're still way on out there. It's amazing. Like all the shad where I'm at, 30 foot of water. Yeah. It's like you'll see.
I will say this on.
They don't just. And these fish just don't push all of a sudden because it gets warm. That's not how our fish do it. Like,
I do remember in the Open last year, which was what, April, Andrew?
It was May.
May. There was a dude that I talked to that came and pre-practiced in February. He was in the tournament. He cashed a check. And he said he found a hole that had fish in there, and he caught him on a Demiki. And he goes, dude, I caught every fish on a Demiki out of that same hole in May.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's Toledo sets up even better, more so than probably even Rayburn when it comes to fishing offshore and fishing the bait and that kind of stuff.
1,000 times better.
Yeah, I mean,
it's 1,000 times because you catch big ones out there on Toledo doing that stuff. Rayburn, you don't really do that.
Yeah,
Rayburn is very hard. You might catch 100 a day, but it's very hard to catch big ones. Them big ones on Toledo. Like they float around out there way better. It's like night and day. It's not even the same lakes.
The only thing I did notice the other day is they weren't on the main lake, at least where I was at. It was all like in a creek, like a small creek or like a feeder creek.
That's better with the wind.
It did make it better. So,
yeah.
I mean, I do think they're going to absolutely destroy them on a Demiki and a jerkbait this week. Like it might get kind of silly. And actually our weights might be under what it could actually happen. I mean,
you think 100, go down 100?
I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. Toledo is really untapped right now. I mean, I was telling Todd the other day, like you can drive by the boat ramp almost every day and it's just empty. Like, and this is an enormous lake, and I drive by a bunch of boat ramps and you just don't see people out there. So it had a lot of pressure up to about the Bass Pro Tour guys being here, and even then, it still didn't get that much pressure. It's not like a Guntersville or Rayburn or something like that. So.
Well, guys, boys,
that is awesome. I appreciate y'all coming on. We will catch back up with y'all at the next Bassmaster Elite event, which is next week at Lake Ford.
So we got to do this again next week.
The forward-facing Sonar tournament
and we'll have a talk. Oh, that one I'm going to have to agree with Todd on that. Patrick Walters will probably be one of my picks, just like everybody else's.
Well, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. And guys, if y'all haven't checked out Todd Castledine on YouTube, Matt Pangrac on Bass Talk Live, or Ish at Fish for Ish on all his social channels, y'all need to go check them out. And we will see y'all on the next one.
What about you, Andrew? Where we can find you?
I mean, they're already on my channel. So.
Oh, gotcha. All right.